This is probably the worst timing ever by Sega because right now they are doing a collaboration with NIJISANJI for PS2 New Genesis. For those of you who don't know, NIJISANJI is a VTuber agency, so they have a whole bunch of streamers under their umbrella, streaming video games, making music videos, whatever, for this company as a group. But right now, there's a ton of drama going on with this company that is basically imploding in on itself. Typically, I wouldn't talk about this drama stuff, but because it's pertaining to a game that I play quite often, I did want to give some details on it because it could affect the player base that just normally plays this and has no idea what's going on. So just to give some details on the drama currently going, basically a VTuber under NIJISANJI for the EN branch got terminated by the company. This was Selen Tatsuki, and this happened on February 5th. So just a little bit ago, like about a week. Selen has been with this company for quite a while now, since 2021. And a lot of people are upset because of this, but this termination or firing isn't the sole reason behind why everybody's like so pissed off at NIJISANJI. It's basically the reasonings that they gave for the termination and what's been happening to her within the company over the course of these years and to other people. The reasons that NIJISANJI gave for her termination was that she kept violating the activity rules, which encompass a wide range of issues, such as non-compliance with rights confirmation and authorization flows, which could potentially lead to infringement of third-party rights, including copyrights. So that, typically makes sense with like a normal company, where if you keep doing this, this could lead to lawsuits with other people, which could lead to a lot of financial loss. So it does make sense that they're trying to get on top of it, but they don't give any instances of where this is occurring whatsoever. They just say in May 2023, we sent a notice to Selen stating that any further violation of these rules would engage in false or misleading statements that could damage their reputation, which could lead to her termination, which that eventually did happen on December 26, 2023. This is where she posted a music video on her channel without the prior approval as required by the activity rules. So all this makes sense when you look at it by NIJISANJI's perspective, but what we actually know now is that she did get the approval of all of the creators behind that music video. The only thing was NIJISANJI themselves were just withholding, not letting her release this video, and she's been working on this for, I think, over a year, trying to get it pushed out. But another part of this first section that I didn't read yet is the violations also include unauthorized usage of works and assets belonging to others affiliated with any color, disregarding the intentions of these parties, as well as a lack of communication with creators, resulting in delays in Selen Tatsuki's commission payment to creators. Usually, a company pays these creators to have content made for their own VTubers, but Selen had to actually do commission payments herself out of her own personal accounts. And she actually did pay all the people for that music video and got all the approval herself for that video. So it was just the company and not anybody that was actually involved that was holding it back. We actually see this in the community notes on Twitter, where a lot of the creators were saying that she even paid out of her own personal PayPal account. She was kind and responsive. She got all the things done. And we were waiting for months of payment from the company. So Selen actually helped us out by paying herself. That means according to your own activity rules, she wasn't infringing on any third-party rights because she got the approval by those people, and she wasn't putting it out before payment was done because she paid herself. You actually did nothing for this music video, and that's what a lot of people saw it as, but then there's even more to this document. They said that Selen demanded that Any Color, the parent company of NIJISANJI, should be held legally responsible. She claimed that she was no longer able to engage in her activities as a liver due to the decisions made by Any Color, and was being harassed by other affiliated livers or the other streamers in the company due to mismanagement, etc., while refusing to acknowledge her responsibility for violating the activity rules. Moreover, Selen Tatsuki insisted that if the negotiations did not progress, she would proceed to release a statement regarding her claims to the public. Any Color believes that the claims raised by Selen Tatsuki are in fact referring to situations that arose when she was warned about her breaches of the activity rules, and attempts to shift the responsibility for these violations damaging any color in NIJISANJI EN's image. A lot of people saw this portion of the documents and saw it as NIJISANJI just completely ignoring what Selen was trying to say about harassment going on within the company, and just kept going back to the activity rules, basically putting her under the rug, just trying to get her to stop talking about things and terminate her, get her out of the company, and move on as like if nothing happened. And all of this comes out after a month of silence from Selen, not knowing what's happening, besides just a single message in December, which you can't see on Twitter anymore because her account is privated or protected. But the original post was, "I apologize for the silence. I've been in the hospital after an accident. I'll be staying there for a few days to be under supervision. I just got back access to my phone yesterday." That was on December 28th, while that termination was on February 4th. That was over a month of nothing, and then just all of a sudden, she is terminated. That made a lot of fans and friends of Selen start to worry quite a bit, but thankfully, she put out a message through an alternative account that she had before she joined NIJISANJI, which is the Dokibird account, which she's now known as. "I will not be silenced anymore. On December, I was hospitalized for an attempt that was caused by a buildup of bullying from within," so an attempt on her own life, "and being in a toxic and poor environment for numerous months that led to my breaking point. I requested to leave first, but on more neutral terms on the 26th of January. So this came out the morning after the termination post on February 5th, and basically this just made NIJISANJI look incredibly bad because they were terminating a person that was fed up with the bullying. They're trying to spin it in a way that, she was breaking the rules. We decided to get rid of her, but she was the one who actually wanted to leave in the first place, just, in a quiet way, or just like do a graduation stream, just, move on. But NIJISANJI made it a way bigger deal to try to look better for themselves. So with everything so far, NIJISANJI has been shown to be lying, trying to spin things to look better in the public eye, and trying to quiet people that would try to put out their own side of the story. So just already, this is a massive mess, and NIJISANJI isn't looking too good. But then it kind of continues on into this week, and even just in the past couple of days. So just a couple of days after being surprised, terminated by NIJISANJI, Doki, or Selen, decided to go back to her original channel and start streaming on there to continue her journey, because she still wanted to do streaming. That was her passion. She actually made her account active again that she had before NIJISANJI, which was originally like 10,000 subscribers, but then boomed all the way up to like 520,000 as of right now. But after she started streaming, it was going quite smoothly, all things considered. She had to rush a lot of things, so she only had like a couple days notice. But yeah, she started streaming like 6 days ago on her return stream, got 1.3 million views, which is insane. Then did a few more streams throughout the week. But then, yesterday, more things happened. NIJISANJI decided to put out a message for everybody on one of their livers or streamers channels, and for some reason, not their own official channel, addressing this whole Selen situation. And there was 3 streamers in this. There was Elira Pandora, Vox Akuma, and Ike Eveland, all part of NIJISANJI EN. And they were talking about the details of the documents shared to them, which was actually legal documents between Selen, her lawyer, and the lawyers of NIJISANJI, which legally they were not supposed to be privy to. This made an awkward situation for everyone watching, because these 3 were just going on about Selen and these documents and their own feelings on this, but the entire time it felt very scripted. I'm not even sure if it was their own words or not. It was probably just something printed up by the company themselves. But regardless of that, Elira was talking about how they had their personal information on these documents, talking about the 3 streamers that were in this video, among others on there, and how that information could get them potentially doxxed. But that doesn't make any sense, because these are legal documents that are supposed to be only between lawyers and not going to be published out there in the world for everybody to see. It's supposed to actually use your personal information, because you're more than just a VTuber. You're an actual human being behind the scenes. And also with that, this painted a picture that because these people were on the documents involved with Selen, they were probably the ones doing the harassment towards Selen, or at least involved in some way with that. Then with Vox Akuma, the second person talking, he was saying that Selen was recording him without his knowing, so that should be illegal. But in Canada, you're allowed to record somebody as long as one party within that consents that's part of it, which Selen was part of those conversations. And I'm guessing if she told you that she was going to be recording, you wouldn't act how you normally would. So she was recording because you're probably doing the bullying against her, and she needs it as proof for later on because stuff like this, where she needs to bring the proof out for legal documentation. And that's basically how this whole message went. The whole 15 minutes just made NIJISANJI look even worse, and they're the ones who put this out. I don't know who was part of their PR team, but this was god awful. And of course, when this message came out, she was currently streaming Neopets and had to cut her stream short to, talk to her lawyer and get a response out there because this was, a big deal. So on Twitter, she put out that response saying, "I will say that it never was supposed to be shown to anyone other than me, my lawyer, and other relevant lawyers." Talking about the documents that they were talking about. "It was a private document with my own personal information. It was used as a legal document to help my lawyer and document my thoughts. Plus, was never supposed to release anywhere else to any other parties outside of legal department. It makes me wonder if my medical and hospital records was also released without my consent, as that was also promised to me to be kept private." If this is indeed to be true, then NIJISANJI is in some hot water. But of course, they come out with a response saying that they have not made any confidentiality violations regarding submitted documents for legal claims such as these. However, regarding the specific information and documents which Selen's lawyer requested that we do not share with our livers, with utmost consideration of this request, Any Color has not shared any such information. In addition, our livers are not held by any confidentiality obligation regarding this information shared to them from Any Color. Thus, there are no legal issues regarding the information shared to the public in the stream made by our livers. This honestly just sounds like a whole bunch of baloney if you ask me, because why would only some of the documents just be shared to the public just fine, but the rest of the documents just be between lawyers? That makes absolutely no sense, and because of that, because they are using the documents, which I think should not be shared, or was not supposed to be shared between anybody else, and they did share it with the livers, that makes them even in a worse situation because they shared it to the public through them. I don't know if the livers will be held any responsible because, they say that they won't here, which I probably would agree with, but this just makes the company, even worse and worse, just trying to deny everything, absolutely everything, just trying to put them into this perfect picture. And even the community notes on Twitter kind of say the same thing because Dokibird has confirmed that she was promised the information would only be shown to lawyers as it was an HR complaint. Sharing this information without consent may be a violation of PIPEDA laws, as Dokibird is Canadian. And this is where the recent drama is, at. It's still ongoing because it's still current. And it's just going to keep expanding with all of this legal troubles, the drama between people that are still loyal to NIJISANJI and those that are on Selen or Dokibird's side. It's just a whole mess. And then now just Sega is thrown into the mix of this because of this collaboration. This, as per usual with the collabs with NGS, is just a AC scratch and some extra bonus gifts just for logging into the game. And this relates to NIJISANJI JP, not EN, but it's still part of that company as a whole. And it involves 4 of their streamers, Amamiya Kokoro, Nagao K, Matsukai Mao, and Yorumi Rena, which I'm sure don't have any part of this. And that goes for Sega and any of the players that are going to be participating in this collaboration trying to get the cosmetics. They're just innocent bystanders in all this and may not even know the whole drama that's been going on. And with this, I fear that outsiders coming in or even current players that know the whole situation may attack other players for wanting the different items within the game just because it's tied to NIJISANJI, and may even put negative comments on posts involving screenshots with these items or videos, and maybe even go into people's DMs, which I really just don't want to see. So for those of you who are watching, if you're angered by the whole situation and have hatred towards NIJISANJI, direct it towards them where you know it's only them, and not just some random player playing a video game, or even people that support NIJISANJI, because there's no point in doing so. It ain't going to change anything to attack just somebody. And it'd be like the same situation that Selen or Dokibird was in, where she was harassed by a whole bunch of people. That would just be a hypocrite with how your views are. If I was to make a suggestion, go to their official Twitter pages, go to their official YouTubes, anything like that, and not anybody else. So not even their livers, don't attack other people. And if you're playing NGS, feel free to boycott this collaboration as much as you want. So don't participate in it by buying the cosmetics with your AC or real money. And don't even buy it off of other players, because that would still be supporting it in a way. I know some may be fearing that if you don't support this collaboration, it could affect other collaborations in the future, but I would say every other collaboration is separate from this and usually does pretty well, so I don't think this one doing bad is going to affect any future collaborations whatsoever. It may hurt Sega for a little bit, because they probably gave like a lump sum to NIJISANJI, or like percentage of sales is toward NIJISANJI, but regardless, this gives Sega a message that we don't want collaborations with NIJISANJI ever again. Hopefully with this gave you guys a good idea about the whole situation and why you may come across some negative things from other players, but just keep in mind that you can always just ignore them or block them, whatever, and just keep going about your day, and you decide for yourself if you want to boycott, go after NIJISANJI, or if you just want to stay neutral in the whole thing, just enjoying your time. But let me know what you guys think of all this. I'll leave some of the references down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.